At 91, Pat Boone finally shares the real story about Roy Orbison. Pat Boone's full name is Charles Eugene Pat Boone, and he was born on June 1, 1934, in Jacksonville, Florida. He grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, at a time when music was changing a lot and young people with big dreams were starting to create new sounds for the country. From when he was little, Boone showed a special mix of nice, friendly charm, natural talent for music, and a strong sense of right and wrong. These things would later become the main parts of how everyone saw him. Even in his first shows, the people around him could tell he had not just a nice voice, but also a happy energy that easily pulled people in to watch him. Pat Boone started becoming famous in the 1950s, a time full of big changes in music. While everyone was listening to the exciting new rock and roll sound, Boone found his own special spot by mixing the fun energy of that time with clean, nice singing that families all over the country liked. His big break came from winning talent contests and appearing on early TV shows, where his calm sureness and easy singing made people like him right away. As more people liked him, record company bosses noticed, and that led to a bunch of popular songs that quickly made him a huge star. Boone got famous for his gentle versions of rhythm and blues songs, changes that got both good words and some arguments, but they also helped him become one of the top-selling singers of that time. During the late 1950s and early 1960s, Boone was a name everyone knew, with #1 hits like Ain't That a Shame, Love Letters in the Sand, April Love, and Moody River. His songs showed the sweet, innocent feelings and dreamy love stories of that time, giving listeners a nice way to feel good emotions. Boone's music reached millions of people, and he was almost as popular as Elvis Presley. In fact, for a while, people thought he was Elvis's biggest rival on the music charts. Boone's special way, soft tunes with his honest, boy-next-door style, made him really loved by parents and kids the same, helping him do something not many singers could, be liked by people of all ages. But Pat Boone's skills went way beyond just making records. He had a great career in movies, too, starring in more than 12 films like Bernardine, April Love, State Fair, and Journey to the Center of the Earth. These parts showed not just his singing, but also his natural charm and pretty good acting talent. Boone became a movie symbol of goodness, kindness, and happy young energy, things that movie companies liked and fans loved. How he acted on screen helped create the nice, family-friendly look of entertainment in the 1950s and early 1960s. Just as important was Boone's strong belief in his religion, his family, and his personal rules. Unlike a lot of stars from his time, he carefully built his career around his Christian beliefs, often choosing parts, songs, and books that matched his sense of what's right. Over the years, he became one of the loudest voices for faith in the entertainment world, writing many books to inspire people, talking at church events, and using his fame to share messages of hope and doing the right thing. For Boone, being famous was never just about cheers or awards. It was also a chance to help people feel better and live by the things that were most important to him. How long he has stayed in show business shows both his talent and his good character. While many stars from his time disappeared from the spotlight, Boone kept singing, making records, and connecting with fans even in later years. He tried new things, worked with different kinds of singers, and even tried modern music styles, always with a good sense of humor and a readiness to change while staying true to himself. This mix of changing and being real is part of why so many people admire him. After having early wins as a singer and movie star, Pat Boone's movie work went into a fun and often surprising time in the 1960s. His next movie for 20th Century Fox, The Horror of It All in 1963, was a low-budget, funny, scary spoof made in England, far from the big Hollywood studios where Boone first got famous. Even though it didn't have a lot of money behind it like big movies, the film let Boone try silly comedy and scary jokes, showing fans a fun, playful side of him. It also showed that Boone was ready to try things outside his usual nice romantic guy roles and do projects with humor, tension, and fun poking at himself. Soon after finishing that trip across the ocean, Boone went to Ireland to make Never Put It in Writing in 1964. It was a comedy made by Allied artists. This movie put him in a very European kind of funny stories, mixing everyday funny situations, mix-ups, and culture differences into a light, happy adventure. Boone again took a part that let him do silly acting and funny body moves, loving the chance to film in Ireland's pretty countryside and cute towns. The time there made him more popular around the world and showed how he could easily fit into different ways of telling stories. Boone's third movie for Fox brought him back to big studio work. Goodbye Charlie in 1964 was a top-level movie with big stars like Debbie Reynolds and Tony Curtis leading it. Even though Boone had a smaller part, being in it put him next to two of Hollywood's top stars then, letting him show his talent in a fancy, star-filled comedy. Working with such big names opened chances for more different and serious acting jobs, even if he wasn't the main star pulling people to theaters anymore. As the years went on in the 1960s, Boone kept picking projects that made his list of work more varied. He was one of many famous faces in the big Bible story movie, The Greatest Story Ever Told in 1965. Though his part was pretty small, one of many well-known actors, the movie's huge size and big goals matched Boone with one of the most important religious movies of that time. It fit perfectly with how people saw him and his own faith. Boone then was in The Perils of Pauline in 1967, a funny adventure that was first meant as a test episode for a TV show. The show never happened, but the test episode later came out in some theaters, giving fans another chance to see Boone's talent for fun, lively family entertainment. The project added another surprise to his different list of work, showing a time in his career full of trying new things and different types of movies. His last movie with big lasting importance came in 1970 with The Cross and the Switchblade. This serious movie was based on the true story of a church leader helping gang kids, and it matched Boone's long-time love for stories about faith. Here, Boone played a deeper, more emotional part, as a man full of kindness, strong beliefs, and bravery in doing good. The movie really touched religious fans and became one of the most lasting works from his later years, ending his big movie time on a touching note. In 1953, when Pat Boone was quickly becoming super famous, he made one of the most important choices in his life. He married Shirley Lee Foley, the talented and steady daughter of two country music stars, Red Foley and Judy Martin. Their marriage wasn't just two famous people getting together. It was mixing two families with music in their blood, two strong faith backgrounds, and two young people who dreamed of a life built on love, music, and common goals. Together, they became one of the most liked and longest-lasting couples in show business. People loved them not just for being famous, but for the real kindness and warmth they showed as a family. Over time, their home got happier with their 4 daughters coming along. Cheryl Cherry Lynn, Linda Lindy Lee, Deborah Debbie Ann, and Laura Laurie Jean. Each daughter got some of her parents' talent and charm. And the Boone home soon was known for evenings full of music, strong family rules, and the close love that was so different from the wild lives many Hollywood families had. Pat and Shirley were loving parents who taught faith, being humble and kindness, things that really shaped their daughters. By the late 1950s, as Pat Boone's voice played on jukeboxes, radios, and TVs everywhere, the Boone family moved to Teaneck, New Jersey. Being there added a nice, famous touch to the regular neighborhood, with neighbors often saying how friendly and nice the family was. Even with Pat's huge fame across the country, Teaneck was where the Boones had some of their best family years, a place where Shirley made a warm and steady home while Pat handled his busy work and still made time for family. Though often not noticed as much because of her husband's big fame, Shirley Boone was a good singer and TV star herself. But maybe her biggest work in life came from her kindness and strong faith. Because she believed in helping others and doing good for people in need, she started a small Christian group to help hungry people, and it grew way bigger than she ever thought. That small start later became Mercy Corps, now one of the world's best groups for helping in crises and development, giving life-saving help and long help to millions around the world. Shirley's work as a helper shows her quiet strength and big heart. Shirley Boone died in 2019 at age 84, leaving a life full of love, helping others, and strong faith. She passed away peacefully at the couple's long-time home in Beverly Hills, with her loved family around her, and the man she shared more than 60 years of life, teamwork, and dreams with. Her effect on her family and the world is still strong, and her life story keeps inspiring people who want to use their talents to help others. Even at 91, when lots of people just relax and think about old times, Pat Boone seems more excited than ever about the stories from his life and work. Over many years, he has seen rock and roll start, shared stages with legends, watched American music change fast, and become a loved person, and whose charm and realness never go away. Now, as he thinks back on the friendships and competitions, the wins and secret hard times that made that time special, Boone has started talking openly about things he kept quiet for long, especially about his friendship with the amazing Roy Orbison, a singer whose voice could quiet a whole room and who had a mysterious feel. Boone said he had liked Orbison a lot even before they met. "I always knew Roy had something special," Boone remembered, talking about how Orbison's sad, emotional songs full of lonely feelings were so different from Boone's own nice, happy style. His voice didn't just hit high notes, it touched people's hearts. Their work lives crossed when the music world was crazy, full of surprises and lots of competition. But Boone says Orbison never cared about competing. He wanted more to make music that would last forever. As he kept telling his stories, Boone showed how deep their friendship really was. "A lot of people didn't see the shy guy behind all that talent," he said. Boone said Orbison had worries about himself that didn't match how good he was. Behind the dark glasses and careful way he acted on stage was a guy quietly dealing with the stress of always being watched and feeling he had to do better than his last big song. Boone remembered times backstage when Orbison would sit quietly with his guitar, thinking deeply, making tunes that would be loved for years. He felt things very strongly, maybe too strongly, Boone added, pointing to a sensitive side that made Orbison both great and easily hurt. Boone also talked about a private talk he had kept secret for years, one that showed Orbison's worry about not being remembered. He told me once, "Pat, I don't know if people will remember me in 20 years." Boone shook his head telling it, still surprised that someone as great as Orbison could feel so unsure. But Boone said that kind of being humble was part of why Orbison was so special. He sang like every note was important because to him, it was. He felt he had to show his best every time he went on stage. In thinking back, Boone also wanted to clear up old rumors that had been around for years. Rumors that said they were distant or didn't like each other. There was never any bad feelings, Boone said clearly. Only respect. Even though their careers went different ways and their music was liked by different people, Boone felt they had a close connection from liking each other's work and understanding how hard fame can be. Looking back now, Boone feels he has a duty to tell the true story about Orbison. "At my age, you think about what people will remember you for," he said. For Boone, that means keeping the stories of singers who shaped his time and making sure fans know the real person behind the famous name. Roy was more than just a voice. He was a person who put his whole heart into every song. And so at 91, with the clear thinking and wisdom that come with lots of years, Boone finally talks openly about Roy Orbison, not as a faraway star, but as a friend whose spirit, he thinks, still lives every time one of those special notes plays and stays in the air.